All right, so on to our first swim team for next week's Media Day. Coach C. Luss. Coach, I appreciate you guys making the long trip here. I know it's way out of the way, but glad you could be here. I know you couldn't make it to Media Day next week, so definitely happy to fit you in. But go ahead and introduce the swimmers you brought with us, and then just give us a little bit of an elevator pitch of what you expect out of your team this year. There's a little black switch on there, too. Flip that up. There you go.
These are three of my four captains. It's Lucy Biliunas, Hannah MacRaild, and Charlie McGreal. Charlie's a junior, and the girls are seniors. This year, we're rather smaller than usual, but a lot of potential.
All right. Well, let's start with Lucy. Lucy, let's see, you're a cross-country runner, I remember, right?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
So you got a little bit of competition there in the fall. How ready are you for the swim season?
I'm really looking forward to it. Cross country helped me a lot with swimming last year especially, so I think it'll be a good season for me.
That's a good complementary sport. You get all that conditioning. But I have to imagine it's a little bit different, though, because now you have to use your arms and everything else. So how do you get swim ready after a cross-country season?
Well, throughout the cross country season, I was lifting a lot. And I think that has really helped me in the swim season right now.
What events do you plan to compete in this year?
I'm really excited for the 200 free, and then perhaps the 200 IM, which is...
What's your preference? You got a favorite?
Probably 200 free.
What is it about the 200 free you like?
It's a middle distance event, so I feel that that's kind of just my strong suit in swimming, or the distance events.
And now you're a senior. You've been on the swim team for 4 years?
Yes.
And how have you grown as a swimmer from freshman year to the start of your senior year?
I would say that throughout every year I really improved and learned a lot about my swimming and myself as a swimmer. And yeah, I think it's going to be great this year.
As a senior, what do you do to kind of encourage your younger teammates and also help promote the swim team around the school?
I try to set a really good example and always be really positive when talking about swim team, and especially to the younger swimmers as well. Just working really hard and just having that work ethic for everyone.
What kind of goals do you have for your senior year?
I'm hoping to make it to districts this year and also maybe make top 10 leaderboard with the 200 free.
And you guys have that leaderboard right down the hallway. You get to see it every day. How does that kind of inspire you?
It's definitely just a goal of mine. It's always in the back of my head. Like at practice, if I'm like feeling tired, I'm like, okay, I gotta keep working. I gotta keep working hard to reach that goal.
Since we're here for Boys Basketball Media Day, I've been asking all the coaches and players about their other teammates because, you know, you're practicing, you're seeing them, you're working with them. I don't know if it's the same way in swimming. Your head's underwater. but who are some of the other swimmers that aren't here at Media Day that have impressed you?
There's a lot of first-year and second-year swimmers that have a lot of potential this year, and it's going to be exciting to see them throughout the season.
Outstanding. All right, Hannah, you're on the hot seat. Hannah, you've played 4 years of varsity soccer. You are a curler, one of those things that not too many people know about. So, and now you're a swimmer. So, of all the sports that you play, what is your favorite?
Right now it's swimming, but when I curl, it's curling. So.
And when you play soccer, it's soccer.
Yeah.
So whatever the flavor of the day is.
Yeah.
It's good. Any similarities between curling, soccer, and swimming? Aside from the conditioning part in soccer and
like
swimming.
The cardio for all of them, it's definitely important. Strength, different you use different muscles for all of them. So it's really important to have all those for all the different sports.
What events are you competing in this year?
100 free and 200 free.
Do you have a preference? Which one's your favorite?
100 free.
Is it because it's shorter?
It's a little bit because it's shorter, but you could go a little faster in the 100.
I see. And what kind of goals do you have for your senior year in swimming?
Definitely districts and to move up the top 10 leaderboard, like Lucy said, and just to have a fun year, just make new friends with the younger swimmers and everything like that.
Now, curling and swimming overlap, right?
Yes, they
do.
do.
So you'll start curling late November?
We actually started in September this
year. Okay.
So
So you're well underway,
yeah.
And you've been to nationals. You've placed at nationals.
Sure. Yeah.
No.
Well, this year's nationals, we were very young. I was the oldest on the team, so we did not do as well as we'd hoped, but in the past we have placed at nationals.
How cool is it to play in those sports that don't get all the attention of, even soccer, doesn't get quite as much attention as girls basketball or volleyball, and obviously not football. Everyone loves football. Mm-hmm. But how cool is it to be in one of those little sports and doing well at that?
It's very cool. It's a super tight-knit community. Like, everyone knows everyone, so you always feel like when you travel, you'll know someone at every club event. You feel like it's a family all the time.
And then what I like about swimming and gymnastics, and there are a couple other sports where the kids are so encouraging of their opponents. Mm-hmm. And it's not like, oh, I've got to beat you, and you don't have that rivalry. So it's like swimming, you're cheering for everyone. You want them to do, obviously you want to beat them and get a faster time, but you're more about cheering people to achieve their best. What does that say about the sports that you compete in?
Well, it's a great network of people to have when you cheer on others. It's a lot of fun to cheer. Last year we didn't really get to do that, so I hope that this year we get to cheer on and just encourage everyone. What is the
thing you like most about swimming?
You can do it individually, but in the end you're still a team, and teamwork's important.
I know for 10 years now or so that I've been around Independence, you guys have had some good swimmers. You still haven't gotten to that next level. What does it take to get there?
Practice every day for great workouts and stuff like that, and just the mindset of wanting to get that far and work that hard.
All right, well, good luck to you this season.
Thank you.
Charlie, you are up on the hot seat. Let's start out. Tell us what events you compete in.
I swim the 100 fly, the 200 IM, and the 200 Medley Relay.
Is there a favorite among the three?
Probably the Medley Relay or the 100 fly.
Explain the Medley Relay to me. Somebody explained it once, but I'm not real smart.
All right, so 4 people swim in that. We swim 50, so down and back, and then it goes back, breast, fly, free. I swim the fly. I think we're going to do pretty good in that this year.
So all the distances are the same?
Yeah.
Isn't there a race where, like, someone swims a 50, then someone does 100? Is there?
We don't have that.
You don't have
that?
that?
Not in high school, at least.
But does it exist? Just so I don't think I'm crazy?
I think it exists.
Okay. I'm gonna take your word for it.
All right.
Maybe it's track. Isn't there an event in track, like someone, I don't know, like one of the relays that they've done out here is like somebody runs a 50. I don't know. I'm confused. I said I'm not real smart, but. So talk about swimming, Charlie. What is it that you like about swimming and competing in a pool?
I love swimming just because I'm always competing against myself, which is my own times, and then it's also great conditioning for other sports I play.
What is your biggest challenge in the pool?
Just beating myself, trying to get to the top of that top 10 list, make it to states my senior year, hopefully, maybe this year. We'll see.
What kind of times have you put up? I mean, are you getting close or?
I'm pretty close. We're working on it.
Like in swimming, it's not like in cross country, someone might finish and then 20 seconds later someone else finishes. In swimming, it's a fraction of a second. That's nerve-wracking to me.
Yeah, a little bit. Those last few strokes, you really got to push and try and beat somebody out.
Yeah, I mean, you could be having the race of your life, and all of a sudden you have an itch on your shoulder, and now you're in 4th place. It's like that timing. That would really make me anxious. I just wouldn't thrive in the pool.
Yeah.
Number one, I have a nickname, Rock, and so I don't swim well anyway. But so going into this year, I mean, is there any event that you've really focused on, or do you just kind of balance your time among the three?
Probably my 100 fly the most. Just working on the little things now, fine-tuning it.
Look, going back to the question I asked earlier, you've got three swimmers here, but probably 20, 25 on the team. Who are some of the kids that have stood out to you or have made some big improvements this year?
I would say everybody. Everybody seems to be working hard. The freshman class is pretty big, and they all work hard too.
All right. Coach, I'm going to throw it back to you, and you can just kind of tell us, I've asked the kids a little bit about some of the other swimmers that have made an impression on them. Who are the swimmers that have made a positive impression on you in the preseason?
Well, we haven't had any meets yet, so it's kind of hard to say. I mean, you're swimming against a clock all the time, and in practice, they're all doing really well, and you can see the improvement. It would be a lot easier to say after our first couple of meets to see. And the freshmen have a lot of potential, and they've really been working hard. But it all changes when a meet comes and nerves set in, and we miss a wall on a turn, or we forget to hit that touchpad hard enough, and they learn after a while. They know. A few of the freshmen do swim year-round, so they've got that little bit of advantage. I mean, hopefully they're going to go a long way this year. They have a lot of potential. So, right. I don't want to name names because I'll probably miss somebody.
Right.
So I'm just going to say the freshmen are adding a lot to our team. Our team is small this year, which is good in one way because it gives a lot more individual work to the ones that are there. It doesn't help when we swim a Chagrin Falls or, if we would swim a Hawken. But for the majority of our meets, we hold our own, no matter what the team size is, or we have this year we're going to have a lot of good races. So.
Good. And the Chagrin Valley Conference is definitely a swimming conference. When you add Hawken and Orange and Chagrin and all those teams that have had so much success, how does that kind of help your team? I mean, when you've got some younger kids that are new to swimming, or even kids that have been swimming a while but haven't had that success, when they see their peers excelling at the state level, does that help your program?
I think it helps a lot. Like we swim Chagrin, and she'll try and match us up even, so there's good races the entire night. And we talk before the meet, like who are you going to put where, and what swimmers are good, and where's your strength, and they need to see what's out there. So when they get to sectionals, they aren't overwhelmed with the numbers, but number two with the quality of the swimmers that are there too. So it'll be a very interesting season. Should be really productive.
Right. And that goes back to what I said earlier, is where I don't think people get caught up in the competition against each other, as opposed to we just want our kids to swim a faster time. So setting up better races where they get better competition, or like competition works well.
It's fun to win a meet, but it's more rewarding to watch the kids' times drop, and that's what we strive for all the time, and for, like they said, to get on the top 10 list of our all-time swimmers, and some of them are already there, so they want to climb up higher and higher and break our records board too. So it'll be a good season.
And what do you guys do? Whoever wants to answer this one can jump in. What do you guys do to kind of promote the swim team? I mean, swimming, very few schools, swimming is like one of the top sports. So it's always an afterthought in many schools. Some schools have one swimmer, some don't have any. And how do you guys as swimmers just kind of promote it around school so that you have a legacy behind you where you've done your part to improve the program?
Well, we do spirit wear, so obviously that just gets our message out subtly, and then we do some fundraising like at Fall Fest and Home Days where everybody in Independence is always there, so we have a booth, and it's normally pretty good. We sell pierogies.
I like pierogies.
Yeah.
Who doesn't like pierogies?
It's a good question.
My dog does not like pierogies. All right. Well, that is the Independence swim team here. Turning the page from boys basketball media day to swim media day. This will be the longest media day in history since we started it today, and it'll end on, I believe, December 5th. So we've got a long media day in store for CVC swimming, but I'm glad you guys were able to get out here. I hate that teams, aren't able to make it out to our media day. So glad you guys we were able to squeeze you in here, and best of luck to you this season.